Dang. Number one, I'm driving to work. PincheAls in the morning, as always, from Escondido, California, in the Outlander. Why do I drive the Outlander? Well, two reasons. Fuel efficiency, and it's wacky. It's fun. It's weird. And people stare at it a lot. But mostly for fuel efficiency. Ooh, it's cold. Ooh. My other sweater from my legs. Hey, don't look at me. So, today is the day, people. Today. What does that mean? Well, we had an open house here at my my Escondido home to sell it. Let me get my teeth out. No more lisp. Okay, so yeah, I took it off. It's gone. So today is the day that we will be accepting offers for our new home. Oh, no, I mean for our old home. Correction. So I put my house up on the market for sale over the weekend, so Saturday and Sunday, and we got a ton of offers. And out of like 17 or 18 offers on the house that we liked, we picked 5, and then from those 5, today we are picking pretty much 1. We're doing this rush so we can use the funds to put it directly into our new home, which in turn will drop the cost of my mortgage and how can I say help the overall cost of living for our family. If we make a couple extra bucks on top of that, we're going to use it to pretty much pay off some debt and possibly get some money started to get the new shop built on the new property. Now, this is kind of like a last-ditch hurrah for this new place. Not going to give you a lot of details, but a lot of things kind of went a little sideways on the new home that shouldn't have gone the way they went, but they did. They went that way. So right now we are legitimately kind of like a 50-50 chance now that we are or not going to get this house. And it's nerve-wracking because today's the last day. Today's the day that I have to make this happen. If it doesn't happen, we lose the home, our new home. And we're kind of like in a limbo situation now. Which again, in turn, is not a bad thing, but it's also not a good thing. You know, if we lose it, I'm kind of gonna be like, oh well, there's bigger houses to go with, so you know, there's still more than one house out there in the world. So again, right now we are at a 50-50% standpoint where if this deal goes through, we got it. And I'll give you guys an update. Again, I'm not here to be Mr. Negative Nancy. I'm here to be optimistic. And again, if we don't get it, you know, it wasn't meant to be. Right? It just wasn't meant to be. And we'll get another place. Again, escrow is a weird place where shit just... there's a lot of weird, you know, things in all that process. So I'm not a big fan of it. I never want to ever buy a house again. It's such a stressful process with my family. It's such a stressful process overall, and it just I don't like it. Everybody is kind of like tense right now, trying to empty a house out so we can show it off and sell it. You know, I had to put camera equipment in my garage because I have, super expensive mining equipment, crypto mining equipment in my garage, and I didn't want people going in there and touching stuff. Yeah, I had that feeling of unease those 2 days of that I couldn't be in my house, guarding my equipment, and then I put the camera on there, and believe it or not, legitimately, probably within the first 40 minutes, one or two people, good morning, buddy, good morning, already in there and trying to, oh, look, there's all this stuff in here, I gotta film it and take pictures. So I get on my camera gear, they got a two-way microphone, and I'm being kind. I go, can you please do not film or take pictures of what's the equipment in here? And number one, it's just personal safety. I don't know if these people are going to come back and break into my home and steal all my shit. It's one of those feelings that I'm just like, I'm very uncomfortable, uncertain, and I don't want to feel that way when I'm away from home. And right now, I feel that way right now day to day because about 4 or maybe 6 people in total try to take very thorough pictures and video that I caught. Try to do it. And even though there was a sign up saying, please do not take pictures or film the garage, people are just dumb and don't know how to read or just rude and just ignore what my one rule in my my house, and it just bothered me a lot. So and I took so yeah, I took care of that, and again, I'm very on edge just because again, some people took pictures of stuff I don't want them to take pictures of, and I don't know if they uploaded them or shared them, and shared the address, I don't know, and it makes me very uncomfortable, Oh, yes, Rob, I got a review. I can love it. I highly recommend picking one up, honestly. It makes the car, okay, it doesn't make the car any better. Like, it doesn't make you a pro driver, blah, blah, blah. My Cooler Works shifter made my driving experience fun. Like, every time just mashing in the gears in my Cooler Works shifter, it just made the driving experience just fun. Every time I just went, come on. It's just such a good, it's fun. What's up? It makes it just feels good. It makes it feel more, it's hard to explain, more mechanical, like you're putting the gears in like you're going into like a meshy kind of like a meshy feeling. It feels nice. Okay. How can I? It's such a hard experience to explain unless you were driving it. You might have to come over and drive it, honestly, Rob, so you can understand it. I would recommend you driving it so you can understand it. That way you can understand my description of what I'm trying to explain. It feels like you're putting the gears into like a slot every single time, and you know where they are. Like, it's very mechanical, and it makes you feel that your input means something. You know, it's just you're shifting gears, whatever. But it's such a satisfying feeling. It's not even funny. Like, you know, it just makes a really good driving experience overall. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I love it. I love it, and if anybody asks me if they should get one, yes, 100% yes. You know, these are the very few products that I'm just like, hey, you should buy one. No, this is like a guaranteed you should buy one. Like, you need one in your car. They should come like this from the factory. To be honest with you, you know, it's hard. Like, the feeling, everything is hard. You have to drive my car to understand it. You know, every input makes a difference when you drive it. It's pretty cool. You know, again, it made my driving experience just so much more fun. It does make your car faster, and it just makes your overall driving experience fun. That's it, honestly. It does shorten your throw a little bit too. I believe it's like a 15%, maybe a 30% throw reduction. So definitely you're gonna feel a much shorter shift. So I guess look for that as well. It's a pretty easy install, but you can definitely what's the word? There's a word that I'm looking for. You could definitely mess some things up if you don't install it right. So yeah. Don't adjust your shift linkage at all. So right now, if all your gears going perfectly, don't touch it. Leave the length and everything alone. All you're doing is changing the end of it, the beginning of it, which is what's inside your cockpit. That's it. I like the product. It's a good product. For the price, it's even more worth it. And you get it pretty quick, even though it's coming from the other side of the pond. I definitely recommend getting it because also, unfortunately, the war that's going on right now, BS war, honestly, you know, leave them alone. There's no reason for this issue to go on, but whatever. I'm not a person to talk politics, so I'm just saying it's a BS war, 100%. And then again, try to order as soon as you can because they come from Europe. You know, just in case I have some issues not being able to ship around. You know. Excuse me. So that's kind of like what I want to give you guys an update today. I am, careful. I am really, really antsy again for this house, and we're going to have an answer today about the sale. So I'm hoping that we are going to be in escrow today, selling our home, whoever's going to be buying our home. And we need what we call, not like a short sale, but kind of like a short escrow process, because we need to be able to close this sale and receive the funds before the closure of my other home. Again, we're in a tight spot, but I think it's gonna work. I think we're okay. I think we're at the point where I can honestly say we're okay. We're okay, and I'm excited, like really excited for what's going on and how everything's going to go on. But I'm almost to work. Do you guys have any other questions for me at all today at PincheAls Garage in the morning? I love doing the morning talks. It keeps my mind off this boring drive to work. It used to be a fun drive, but it's meh. Found an Eptic makes wheel hub conversions to convert from 501 without having running the adapters. Ever heard of this? I know that there is a company. I know there is a company right now that makes an adapter to go to 5x112. But you have to understand, if you're going to go to 5 okay, if you're going to 5x112 because you want a better wheel selection, you don't want to run adapters, you have to understand, more likely the hub conversion is a new wheel bearing as well, and more than likely it's just a custom wheel bearing that you probably can't get anywhere else, because there's no wheel bearing that fits the Mark IV that lets you use a 5x112 adapter. I mean a hub. Hopefully that makes sense. So it's either a custom wheel bearing or it's a custom hub that fits a Mark IV wheel bearing. That's all it is, honestly. It's just a hub. It's not really a conversion. It's a hub that fits the wheel bearing. The issue that you fall into, again, is a lot of 5x112 wheels, okay, are aggressive offset, because they're meant for Audis, not Volkswagens. They're meant for Mark V and newer. And when you do a Mark V, the offset's a little more aggressive than a Mark IV. So when you fall into a slightly more aggressive offset, you really have to think about how can I say, is it going to fit? And if it's a little bit more aggressive than the Mark IV factory offset specs, or how can I say, the choice wheel for a Mark IV, which is usually about 35 ET to 25 ET on a Mark IV is usually where you want to be, and you're trying to get 5x112, which is again Mark V and newer wheels, you are going to end up probably getting spacers no matter what, versus adapters. Now you got to understand, we've been running adapters for ages on these cars, and typically getting adapters, it's like running a spacer. It's the same thing, 15 millimeter or even a 20 millimeter. Just make sure that if you're not going to run a spacer and you're going to try to do this conversion, that the wheels you buy are the offset you want, that will fit your setup and not hit your coilovers. Because there's two things you need to factor in, which is offset and backspacing, and both of those can cause where you're gonna have to buy a spacer, where you could have bought a 5x100 wheel, okay, a 5x100 wheel, or even a 5x112 wheel, and bought your adapter, and you didn't have to do all the extra work to make that to work, besides just bolting on an adapter to your hub and then make it fit with the space that you needed. Can you see what I mean? Um, like my Mark IV, I use adapters because I run 5x112 wheels, but I have a 15 millimeter spacer up front and a 20 millimeter spacer in the back. If I did the hub conversion, I would have to run, I think, a 20 millimeter spacer up front and a 25 millimeter spacer in the rear because the offsets are so weird. Um, it actually would have been worse. And it also depends if that hub that you get increases offset because it's a 5x112 pattern. I don't know. You're gonna have to research. I'm gonna do some more research on that. Um, things like that is you have to really pay attention to if you're gonna do a conversion. So no, don't put 19-inch wheels on a Mark IV. No, they look dumb. I'm sorry, Rob. I told you that last time. We had this conversation. It looks dumb. The wheels don't look right on a Mark IV with 19s. It's a fact. If you're gonna put 19-inch wheels, you better be tucking the crap out of those wheels on an air suspension and not static. I'm just telling you that right now because once you put them on, the car is gonna look goofy. I'm just telling you that right off the bat. 19-inch wheels on a Mark IV, just so you know, when you're driving down the road with 19s, it looks dumb. The car just looks so out of place. It's goofy as all heck. Personally, bag the car first. Okay, I would recommend this: bag your car first, and then decide on what you're gonna pick for wheels. Because once you bag the car, you're gonna be like, damn, it's not gonna sit very low because it's on 19s. It's really not gonna sit very low. Just telling you that right now. Those 19s are gonna fill the wheel well like crazy, and it's not gonna sit low. But I'm already at work, so we have to talk later. Thanks again. Peace out, everyone, and be safe out there. All right.